Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 9. Today we're going to be breaking down the extended trailer for the series finale. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay guys, so as I've been saying over the last week or so, this Wednesday is huge. It's the series finale of The Flash. I'm going to be making a bunch of videos as we lead up to Wednesday, and we're going to do a live stream as well, probably just before The Flash actually airs its series finale. So stay active on the channel is what I'm saying. But for now, let's get into this trailer breakdown. So this is actually my final trailer breakdown. I thought my last video would be the final one, but the CW released an extended trailer that features a lot of new shots, like 20 plus new shots, and we get some really good looks at Cobalt Blue and some of the other characters like Savitar and Reverse Flash. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So obviously I'm not going to be going over the same shots that I went over in the previous trailer. You can check out that video on the top right corner of the screen, but I'm going to be going from the new shots. And so at the start of this trailer, Barry says, "Iris, I have something to tell you." And obviously this is before she has given birth. It's in the evening. You can tell from the lighting it's quite different from the shot of her actually trying to give birth later in the trailer, which we'll get to. And so he is here, I guess, telling Iris about the situation and the fact that Cobalt Blue has brought back all these past villains to try and take down Barry once and for all. That's just my prediction. The next shot of the trailer, we get an amazing look at Red Savitar. He looks awesome as he looms over the Flash, who he's presumably facing off against. Also, you hear a voice in the trailer at this point, and it sounds kind of Savitar-like, but it's not really Savitar. Anyway, it's just some sort of muffled voice that is like, "Tonight, we change the future." It could be Zoom's voice. It doesn't sound like Cobalt Blue, but I guess maybe he has some sort of voice change when he's like fully suited up. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so you have this shot of Savitar. Obviously we've theorized about why he's red in the past, like he could be taken out from that specific point in time where he was red in season 3 at the end of the season, or it's the negative Speed Force giving him powers and so he's just changed red. But this is probably the most exciting thing in the trailer. You get a full good look at Eddie Thawne's Cobalt Blue costume. And here he is in the hospital giving Iris blue flowers. Obviously, having him give those roses is very fitting considering that that was kind of what he was seeing in his mind. Obviously, it's a different shade of blue, like this is a very kind of strong shade of blue. But he is being totally creepy as he shows up to basically congratulate Iris, while at the same time, he's basically going to try and destroy her entire family in this episode. So it's extremely villainous of him and extremely cheeky, but I really like this shot. We also get a reverse shot of this. Obviously you can see Barry and Iris and they're reacting, and Iris is like, "Eddie," and so I think he's just appeared out of nowhere and they're in shock because, you know, at this point I'm pretty sure Barry has been facing off against Eddie, and even though it's still pretty early on in the episode, he's still, you know, is seen as a villain rather than just like Eddie Thawne, because now he's fully suited up, he's got his own costume and everything. And then if we move on to the next shot, it's super interesting because we are dealing with timeline changes here. And so Nora is actually in the hospital waiting for the birth of herself. So she's got like a mini XS kind of t-shirt that she's going to give her baby self. And then you have Joe here, Marcus here, as well as Chester and Allegra. They've all got their individual presents. I like Chester's present. He's got like a mini Jay Garrick helmet, which is very cool. But in this moment, Nora is like, should I be here? Like, is this going to change the timeline considering that I'm here witnessing myself be born? Like, it's totally weird. And so, yeah, I think this is a very necessary line and a very necessary thing, but Team Flash aren't taking it very seriously. As you can see in the trailer, it's actually kind of played off a bit more like a joke, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here actually. But then things get very serious as Barry, in maybe CC Citizen Media, I can't really tell where this is, you see this like kind of sweeping shot around him as you presume maybe he is being followed by Cobalt Blue. Also, this could be at the hospital. I have no idea where it actually is. But we got this awesome next shot of Cobalt Blue outside in the public. and you got this kind of nice blue edge light on him. You can see his cobalt blue costume pretty well. Like, I love the color scheme, it looks awesome, and they've given him some sort of like eyeliner. He looks more villainous than he has previously in the last few episodes as Eddie. And so yeah, this is like full-blown Cobalt Blue facing off against the Flash, and he's like, surrender Flash, something along those lines. And so yeah, he's facing off against the Flash. But in the meantime, at Star Labs later in the episode, I talked about this in my previous trailer, and I actually theorized that it would be Reverse Flash who takes out Chester. I don't think Chester's dead, but he's on the floor, and Star Labs has been attacked, and Allegra's there, and it turns out, yes, it is Reverse Flash. And so you see Tom Cavanagh in this shot in his new Reverse Flash costume, looking absolutely amazing. And so he's here, I presume, for the reason to try and get back at Barry and get around things, and he's attacking members of Team Flash. But if you see the next shot, we have an outside shot with a bunch of cops in the background, and all of the main kind of cops that we have currently on the show, excluding Joe because he's not a cop anymore. And so they're facing off against, I guess, the speedster villains, and they're kind of like backup if the superheroes can't actually stop them. We have this cool shot of Cecile, like it's actually really nice lighting. I think her costume is pretty good. However, I do have to point out, and I said this previously, she does look like she's wearing Nia Now's costume. Like, the color scheme is similar. It doesn't feel so original, but at least she's finally got a costume rather than just going out in like a leather jacket or something. Okay, so Iris is giving birth in the next shot. You can tell this is in the daytime just because of the lighting. And so this is, yeah, probably like towards the back half of the episode, maybe like the midway point or like the 30-minute point in the episode. Most episodes are like 42 minutes, I think, for The Flash. So yeah, kind of towards the end, you're going to see baby Nora. She's going to be around. Everyone's going to celebrate it. So yeah, it's going to be happening probably midway through the episode. And whilst this is all happening, Barry is facing off against Cobalt Blue, and he's brought in all the villains. But in the next shot, Barry gets mad at Mark as he's like, I'm trying to save the timeline and save Eddie at the same time. And I guess Mark just has different ideas about what they should be doing right now. Mark is quite the contrarian normally, so it's not a surprise. But I like the emotion and the anger on Barry's face. Like, I think this is going to be a really good scene from Grant. You can see he's got a cut in his face, so yeah, he's properly been attacked. And I really hope there are big stakes in this episode, considering you got some of the Flash's greatest villains and most dangerous villains. I would argue Zoom is the most dangerous villain out of all of them because he's absolutely brutal. Like, look what he did back in season 2, dragging Barry around the whole city, killing literally everyone in his sight. But I'm fairly certain he probably is going to get into a fight early on with Cobalt Blue, and that's where he's going to get that cut on his face. But we have another shot that was kind of similar to another one in the previous trailer. You see Barry, and he's in some sort of location, I don't know where it is, but his eyes are kind of like a little bit watery, like you can tell there is emotions going on right there. But an awesome shot. We have the Flash and the return of Jay Garrick. This is great. I don't know why it's so cool, but it's so nice that we're going to have them together, that pairing, along with, I guess, XS in this episode. And so yeah, it's always good to see good speedsters teaming up alongside the bad speedsters. Obviously that is super exciting for all of us, seeing Savitar, Zoom, Reverse Flash, Godspeed all lining up together along with Cobalt Blue to take on the good guys. So yeah, that's inside CC Jitters, and they're going to be facing off against Cobalt Blue. We've seen previously in a shot in the last trailer, Cobalt Blue is sent through that window in CCPD, it shatters, everyone escapes, and so it seems this is when the Flash and Jay Garrick show up. So back at Star Labs, you have Thorne, who is extremely mad. I don't know who he's mad at. Like, I feel like everyone's going to kind of turn against Cobalt Blue, especially Reverse Flash, or maybe Zoom, just because they are so selfish and they only really care about themselves. So just them being on the team is quite a surprise to me. I've said that many times in the recent weeks, but obviously in this shot you kind of get to see a little bit of that breaking away from the rest of the so-called team. Thorne says Barry's life is mine, and he goes absolutely insane. So I feel this is definitely at the same point where Chester is taken out, and I guess he's like briefly talked to him and he's kind of aggravated him, and that's led him to destroying this area in Star Labs. The next scene is in a very red room. It looks like someone's apartment. It could be Barry's apartment, I'm not sure honestly, but Barry is getting kicked in the face here by Cobalt Blue, who is suited up in his costume too, and you have a separate shot, a wider shot. And yeah, so you get to see kind of more of the apartment and Cobalt Blue. You can see his crystals, extremely blue in this very red light. Like, I don't know why the red light is here, but it looks like it's actually coming from the outside. So maybe it's just another red thunderstorm because of the negative speed force. That would be my best bet as of right now. But here he is beating up Barry, and I presume this is where Barry actually gets the mark on his face, the cut from early in the episode. Let's move on to the next shot. The next shot after this is back inside the hospital, and you have Barry talking to Cobalt Blue, and it's just like a brief interaction between the two of them. And I feel like Cobalt Blue is here to taunt them, especially to taunt Barry. Obviously he does care about Iris, but she's in big trouble because she has chosen Barry over Eddie, and that's a huge deal to him. Like, he's having to grapple with that, and literally because of being told, oh no, I don't want to be with you, he's become a full-blown villain. He's become Cobalt Blue, so his jealousy is what drives him. And so that's why I think it's like super devious and super cheeky of him to come back to Iris after all of this, fully suited up as a super villain, giving her blue flowers, kind of fitting his color scheme. And also that just proves how cold he is. Like, he has turned into this completely different person than the Eddie we knew in the past, and that's because obviously he feels like he's missed out on a whole life, and he's not been given really a good second chance because Barry is already making a family with Iris, and Iris is all that Eddie seemingly cares about, and so he's willing to give it all up in order to enact revenge on Barry, and that's like pure jealousy right there. So that does it for this extended trailer breakdown. This is my final trailer breakdown of The Flash as a whole. I can't wait for Wednesday. Let me know down in the comments below how excited you are for the series finale of The Flash. So that's episode 13 of season 9. And if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. We're uploading daily right now. As I said before, we're going to have lots of Flash content before Wednesday night's episode, also a live stream as well, so stick around for all of that, and you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.